Hi everyone, my name is Veronique Lengelle. I'm a dual Microsoft MVP and one of the maintainers for the PnP PowerShell module. In this video, we're going to have a look at how we can install the PnP PowerShell module onto your machine, but we're also going to have a look at what's the difference between a major release and a nightly release. So let's dive in. To get started with PnP PowerShell, the simplest way is to head over to the documentation. And under installation, we can see the command that we need to use to install the module. But notice on the second command that we have the -allow pre-release parameter. And that is because we do have a major version, but we also have nightly releases. And so you might be wondering, what is the difference between a major version and a nightly version? A major release will be, for example, 1.8.0 or 1.9.0, which is the current one. And a nightly release would be 1.9.10 or even 1.9.45. And the difference is that every time that we are going to fix an issue, or we can simply correct a typo, or even if a new command has been created, once all those changes have been approved, then they are added to the nightly release, which means that when you're going to install a nightly release, all those changes will be available the day after. So, for example, if today the version that's installed on your machine is, let's say, 1.9.45, if you update the module tomorrow, it will be 1.9.46, then you will benefit from those changes. So now let's go to the terminal and install the module. And by the way, I'm currently on a Windows machine and I'm using PowerShell 7, but this PnP PowerShell module is cross-platform. So it means that it will work on Windows, Linux, and macOS. Now, if I type get module PnP PowerShell, and I use the -list available, you can see that I have no PnP PowerShell installed on this machine. So at this point, we can decide to install a major version. So remember, it would be 1.8.0 or 1.9.0, depending on what's the latest. Or if you prefer to install a pre-release to have all the changes that have been made since the major version, then you can install the nightly release straight away. So just to prove that, we're going to start by installing the nightly release. So we're going to type install module, PnP PowerShell. This is not case sensitive. And then -allow pre-release. Now, you could leave it at that and press enter, but in that case, you will be prompted with a question for you to confirm that you want to install the module and that you trust it. So because I do not want to be prompted, I'm just going to add the -force parameter. And the module seems to be installed. Let's use the up arrow on the keyboard and get back to get module, press enter. And indeed, we have the nightly release, and we know that because it says pre-release nightly, but we also see 1.9.50. And if you're only allowed to have stable versions, then we can install the major version. And in that case, we're going to do an install module, PnP PowerShell. But this time, we're not going to put the -allow pre-release parameter. We're still going to put the force parameter, not to be prompted for the question, and press enter. And now we should have both versions installed on the machine. And indeed, we have 1.9.0, which is the stable one, and 1.9.50, which is the nightly release. And that's how you get PnP PowerShell installed on your machine. But we can also verify that it's working correctly if we do get command -module PnP PowerShell. And voila,